welcome back. It's Debbie with Kip's Corner, and welcome to a bonus day for the December Daily Advent Tags Christmas collaboration. This is tag number 26. This really is the last one. I was so excited when Tracy said she was going to do 2 bonus tags for day 25 and 26, and saw this and just absolutely fell in love with it. I think it's adorable. So I live in the United States. I don't celebrate Boxing Day, but it's just too cute not to play with. So to me, this is kind of a Happy New Year tag, and we'll use the Happy New Year sentiment here. We've got 2023, and true to my nature, I'm going to put some textures on this. So what I've pulled out so far is some paper texture paste from Prima Marketing, Finnabair Art Extravagance, and it's paper texture paste. It's a nice texture. And I've got some clear embossing powder, just some in my stash. This is ridiculously old, but it still works. I've brought out my distress pins again, my embossing pins, because I'm going to use that with the embossing powder. And I've grabbed, and I don't know yet, I just have this idea, so I don't know yet if this will work, but I've grabbed my Distress Foundry Wax in Sterling. So I've got those pieces ready to go. I also have a stencil here. This is a snowflake stencil from Tim Holtz. And you can see I've marked off, or I've used masking tape to block off some of the snowflakes. This has, yeah, you can see them. This has a bunch of different sizes, but I really just wanted the 3 smallest ones. And so I've blocked everything else off so that when I run that through, I will not accidentally get my texture paste inside the snowflakes that I don't want. So what I'm going to do to start off with is, let's just cut this. I'm going to chop this in half. And since it needs to dry, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put snowflakes on this tag, this background tag with texture paste. And I think I'm gonna wait, no, let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out completely. Okay, got that cut out. So now I'm going to use the stencils that I've got masked off and my texture paste. And let's see, I need a palette knife. And I'm going to run I'm just going to create a few snowflakes, big old snowflakes on here in a couple different spots. And I'm going to go ahead and run off the page. So I'll clean my mess up. Okay, I got them a little gloppy, but that's okay. They're snowflakes. They're not going to be perfect, but just wanted to add a little bit of texture there. So I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. And now I think I'm going to focus on the fox, although the dragon is absolutely adorable. The fox is going to be easier for me to do the technique I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these apart. But I don't need to trim him out yet. I'm just going to cut him away, and I'll trim him out later. Okay, what I'm going to do is go back to using my Distress embossing pin, and I'm going to color the entire fox. So let's get some embossing powder on him. Okay, now he's got some pretty little gloss on him, just to get him to, there you go. That'll get him to just, stand out a little bit more, I think. And I think that's pretty effect. Okay, so now I can cut this one out. I think I will go ahead and sew around this one and ink the edges, and then we'll go from there. Meanwhile, this is still drying over here. So you can see, I wanted those snowflakes to be pretty subtle, but I'm going to stack this, and so it'll actually cover up a lot of them, which is fine. Okay, I've got him sewn I'm just going to trim these off just a little bit. And I think when I'm going, oh, and I also rounded the corners. So I used my corner rounder, which I love, and I rounded the corners of both tags because I actually really enjoy doing that. And we're going to do something like this, very simple. But before I do that, I want to, let me get my mess cleaned up here a little bit. Don't need that anymore. Okay, I want to play with the foundry wax. So let me clear some space. I'm just going to, this is just a thin brush. I'm going to put the wax directly on my glass mat, dip the brush, and I'm just going to kind of sloppily, if you will, brush around this outside edge. So this needs to be stirred up really well, and I'm going to work, you have to work fairly fast because it does dry pretty quick. And so I'm going to do, you know, just a couple drops at a time, and I will add drops over here on my glass mat as I need to. So hopefully this is in view, just a couple drops there. Whoops, that's not a drop, that's squeezed out. All right, that's okay. I'm just going to take my tag and I'm just going to kind of come around here like this and just add. And I don't want it to be a pretty neat straight line like I did on my day 16 tag with the lumberjack plaid distress glaze. I want this to be more sloppy, more not straight. But once you have this on, then you have to heat it. It's not going to get the effect that there it is. It's not going to get the effect, the metal effect, until it's heated for this particular product. You can see the metal set and shine up, if you will, as you heat it up. So there you go. So we have just a little silvery edge. Thought that was, there you go. You can see that. And there's several different colors of this as well. So let me wipe up my mess here. Now what I want to do is I want to put this smaller tag on top of some thicker, let's see. I think first I'm going to put it on some blue. That'll make that silver really, I may put some more silver on here too. I may go back and do another pass. But for now, let's get this trimmed out. Okay, so next up, I'm going to put some black on the outside of this dark blue paper. Okay, on this tag, I want to ink the edges of it as well. And so I'm going to use 2 color inks. I'm going to use Walnut Stain first to get that brown in there. And as I'm inking this, I'm coming in just a little bit on the edges, corners especially, just to get a little bit of that ink kind of up into there. All right, next I'm going to go back over this now with black. And now what I want to do is put this on some colored stock. And this is pretty hefty cardstock. And so I'm going to glue this on and then trim it out. And then put my Foxy guy up on top. And this tag will be done. And now on this tag, I'm going to go in with that same black. And now what I want to do is I'm going to be careful to not cover that up. I want to raise him up. And then I also want to put my Happy New Year on here. Got to figure out where, but I want to raise him up first. Actually, I think I'll raise this up as well. It's nice when you have this time of year when you have lots of packaging, right? So this is a box, just the lids from a box, and it is almost the right size. I can glue that to the back, kind of in the center, and we should be golden. Okay, let me get that on there. I think before I put this on, though, I do want to get my eyelet on here. And there she is, all done. So I've got the Tim Holtz Foundry Wax and Sterling around the outside edge. I've got clear embossing, and it's the fine detail, so it's the really lightweight, thin detail clear embossing powder on top of the Fox. So it gives it this beautiful sheen, makes them really kind of pop out, but it's not a heavy or a thick embossing powder. It's a very light coating. And then my texture paste through the stencil in the back, which I pretty much covered up, but that's okay. That's what layers are all about. You can still see it. You can still see that it's there. I raised the tag up. I backed both of the tags with a different color. I used blues and browns to kind of pull in the browns and the blues of the actual tag. And then I also raised my Happy New Year here on the top. And then I used Sorry Silk in those same sort of blues and browns. The blues aren't identical, but I think they're complementary, and I think it totally works. So that's it. And here is the completed tag. Happy New Year 2023. I want to say a huge thank you to Tracy Fox for all the work she put into this and for getting everyone together to do this collaboration. It has been a blast. It's been so fun to watch all of the different tags and the makes, the videos, the posts on Facebook. It's just been, has really kept me in the spirit this year. So thank you so much, Tracy. Greatly appreciated, and thank all of you for joining me. And here's to a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2023. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.